All right. This is Grandfather. So, you've been waiting for predictions. Well, let's see what I have to offer. Now, there are some issues coming up, but the main thing for you to recognize is that the training you've had in spirituality, whatever that is, you'll have a chance to use it, if not already, then in this coming year. People will need help and guidance. They will need support. They will need comfort. A lot of people will be moving around, and maybe more than you expect. These are times that are very challenging, and many people are doing good things to support and to calm, to cure and to heal, and more. I'm not planning to teach you how to do what other people are doing. You come here for magic and support. First off, let me say that the challenging problems you have now that are global, all right? The biggest of which, of course, is radioactivity, is not going to go away by anything science is able to do this coming year. But many magical things have been done, and they're starting to work. So don't give up. I will give you something to do that's a little more than I've given you before for this homework assignment. But first I'll say this. If you are able to move more towards the south, you don't have to move all the way to the southern hemisphere, but move generally south, your health might get better or not get worse. But if you must remain in the north, meaning places where some radioactivity is very high, I want to give you something you can do, because many of you have to be there. And I'm not just trying to scare you. I would never do that. I'd rather empower you. So for those of you living in the north, especially in areas that are vulnerable to radioactivity, I'd like you to say this. First, though, relax and allow the energies to come up for you that you usually work with. Or, if that doesn't happen for you, or you don't have a spiritual practice like that, then say this out loud, but you can whisper it if you want to. Say, I am asking that all those benevolent energies that are available for me be all around me and all about me now. You can write that down. That would be best for those of you who don't already know it. And say it word for word. If energy comes up for you while you're saying it, pause in the wording, meaning in the speaking, and go on when it fades a bit. That's those energies working for you, benevolently. All right? Then, after you've said that, when the energy either fades a bit, or you've been able to feel the change into sort of quietness, then say this. I am asking that I be insulated and protected from harm, from radioactivity and other earth changes that could be harmful. And I am asking that this happens for me now in the most benevolent way. Say it word for word so you can write it down. Make sure the ringers are off on your phones and that the phones are not on you. So put them at least 10, 20 feet away if you can. Because if you're distracted or you're thinking who's calling you, it won't work very good. It's something that requires your attention. So you have to be focused in it for it to work for you. All right? Now, some of you either have friends and family in that area because you're there, or maybe you're at a distance. So this is what you can say for them. First, you say the preamble, like before. Then you say this. I am asking that, and then you say their names. If there's 50 names, you can just say, my friends and family. Okay? Meaning if there's a lot of names. And then you go on. Okay? I'll say it. I am asking that my friends and family be insulated and protected now from radioactivity and other earth changes in the most benevolent way for them, resulting in the most benevolent outcome. All right? Write those words down and say them exactly as I have stated them, not because I'm giving you an order, but rather because they will work if stated like that. They'll work as well as they can. If your friends or family are risk takers and they're jumping off of things and doing all kinds of stunts, can't keep them absolutely safe. But there's a good chance that it will keep them safer than they would have been otherwise. Okay? Now, some of you are more advanced in the work, so I'd like to say this for you. You go out on the land where you normally do your work. I'm not going to give you all of the things you need to do to prepare. I'm going to assume you know all. If you don't, there'll be a little link where you can be reminded of what to do on one of the blogs where this will get posted besides YouTube. And it will take you to a place where you can read about preparations. All right? But I'm going to assume you know that, since you're already advanced in some degree and had this training, and maybe more, other than on these videos, or in the books, or on the written blogs. You go out on the land. If it's nighttime, let there be at least a half a moon. If there's not a half a moon, wait until there is. It doesn't have to be the full moon, just at least half. All right? You stand and face the north as always. You can have your eyes open or closed. If it's daytime, you'll probably want to close them. Look up in the sky and raise your arms so that your palms are up. Your arms will be at your side, then just raise them up, not straight up, but just slightly beyond your chest. Or just a little bit more if you want to, but not straight up. And then say, I am asking for the good of all beings that atomic radioactivity now be transformed and transmute into a benevolent energy and function, so that it only does good in our world. And for this to happen in the most benevolent way and result in the most benevolent outcome. Have your hands up in the air while you're saying that. Now I know that that's long and a lot of words, and most of you will not be able to remember those words. So use your hand, if you need to have your hand holding something, which is probably likely, unless you have a music stand and can write the words down and put the music stand close enough to you, or perhaps a computer device, electronic device. But generally, I don't encourage you to use electronics. Sometimes the energies are so strong, they can be affected. So write it down is better. And a music stand's not a bad idea. Just make sure it's not right in your circle. Okay? So you have your arms up. If you need to hold it in your hand, then have one arm up. And after you say the words, put the paper down or stuff it in your pocket if you want to, and put your hands up again and hold them there for a while. No more than a minute, but don't look at your watch. Just make your best guess. For those of you who did not have to hold the piece of paper in your hand, then after you finish the words, you can slowly lower your arms and have your hands at your sides with your palms facing your body. Then I want you to bow or nod slightly to the directions, including the sky and the earth. So start off with north and rotate to your left to do this, finishing up with the sky, then the earth. You don't have to do more than just gently nod. Deep bowing is not necessary. But if you want to bow a little bit, you can. Then, when you're facing the north, say this: I am grateful, Mother Earth, for all that you provide me with love. It's good to say these things sometimes. So, after you say that, just relax. And you can wait a minute or two, make your best guess, then take 3 side steps to the left. Make a 1/4 rotation to the left and take 5 or 6 side steps to the left, however many feel right. Then, rotating to your left, turn in the direction you need to go and walk on with your life. Don't eat anything heavy for a couple hours. You can eat something light. It's always all right to drink some water, or even water with a little lemon in it. That's okay. Not anything too strong. No coffee if you can help it. You can have weak tea if you want it. But that drinking thing, other than water, that only goes for about a half hour. So if you can get along without your coffee for a half hour, that'll be good. After that, you can do what you need to do. If you've driven a ways out, then it might be good to hang around the area for a while. It'll take you a couple of hours before you'll be prepared to pay attention and drive where you need to go. If you have somebody there to drive you, then you can take off and go where you need to go. Try not to do anything too dramatic for that day. So it's not a good idea to go to scary movies after that. I don't think many of you do. But if you're in a situation where your friends want to do that, pass. They want to go to a romantic movie, that's different. All right? So after about 12 hours, you can just resume your life as normal. All right. That's your teaching for today. We'll have predictions from time to time coming up to the end of the year, but I feel it's much more important to remind you why you're here spiritually, so that you can be active, you can help, you can transform, you can change reality so that it's more benevolent for all beings. Good life.